Hey YouTube, it's me Crystal, aka Crystal Crystal, here with another makeup look. Today what we're going to be doing is an acid look. Actually, you can make it look a whole bunch of different ways. You can make it look like Freddy Krueger, you can make it look like the nurses from Silent Hill. Use your imagination, you can make it look however you want. So, how I made the prosthetic piece. I do have a how-to on my channel, how I made my dead silence mouthpiece. You're going to make it exactly the same way, you're just going to make it a lot bigger. So you always want to make everything a lot bigger because you can always cut it down to the size you want. So how I'm putting it on is I just put a really thin layer of latex, give it a couple seconds, then put the prosthetic piece on top. Make sure you don't put it too close to your eyes. After it's completely dry, you're going to grab some scissors and you're going to cut it to the shape you want. If you're too young and you're not supposed to be playing with scissors, ask somebody to help you or ask your parents to help you. Yeah. So anyways, since this piece is such a big piece, when I'm trying to lay it down, it actually flaps out, so there's a whole bunch of excess like latex there. I don't want that, and I want it to curve with the head. So that was funny. So anyways, you're gonna cut down the middle, and you're gonna put latex on one side of the flap. After putting latex on one side of the flap, you're gonna let it dry for a couple seconds, then overlay it with the other flap on the other side and give it a couple seconds and it will dry. Then you see how it curves? Now when you put it down, it actually just lays flat on the head instead of it just going all crazy and whatever. So to secure it, we're just going to get some bobby pins and we're going to place I'm only going to place two because it's a tutorial, but if you're doing this for Halloween, you actually want to place a couple of them. For anybody who's ever worked with extensions, you can also use bonding glue if you really want it to stick. But that's just an, alternate, whatever. I'm showing right here how I use the bobby pins. Actually, instead of just putting it right on, I made a hole with the bobby pin and hit it a little bit, if that makes any sense. If it didn't make sense, it didn't matter because I showed you how to do it on the video. You just saw me. Anyways, yeah, moving on. Right now I'm putting on foundation. I got mine from the Halloween store, well, when it was Halloween, and I put that on, but it was too white, so I turned around and grabbed my powder, and it pretty much calmed it down, and it made it darker, and it looks good. Right now she looks really powdery, but it just looks like that on the webcam. So she gets closer, and see how the seams just like disappear, which is freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Now what I'm going to be putting on is body liquid paint latex, or body paint latex, or I think that's how you say it. Anyways, it's just body paint, but it's latex. It's a lot thicker than liquid latex, like the clear one that's white and turns clear. That one, if you actually have facial hair and you put that on, it's really going to stick, and it's really not going to want to come off, so you're going to have to shave. But if you were to use body paint, that right there, if you put it on thick enough, it just slides off. Like, it's not going to just slide off throughout the night, but it just slides off. It's so much easier to take off. So yeah, that's what I'm using. After that, I went and grabbed, I think 2 cotton balls, and I think I used 1.5, and you're just going to spread it out. And what this cotton ball is going to do is, it's just going to add texture. So as soon as you spread it out the way you want it, don't put too much cotton because then you're like taking away that texture. You're going to go over it again with the red latex and kind of let it dry. Now when you buy the red latex, they always look hot pink or pink, but as soon as it dries, it looks red to bloody red, so it's awesome. Okay, now to give it some highlights and make it look like stuff standing out more, you're going to put a highlight on it, like I just said. My bad, I'm repeating myself because I turned around and I've already done this audio part like 60 times and it's not coming out. I don't know what's going on. So you can use tan, white, or nude, and I used the tan body paint. And I just dabbled it on here and there. You don't want to put too much. She already showed you up close how it's going to look. Now to add the depth, the darkness. So you can grab your foundation and use any black that you want. It could be cheap, it could be expensive. I don't care. I don't know your life. Whatever you want to do, just wherever you see the crevices, you see the little cuts and grooves, you want to add that little black in there. It doesn't matter what kind of brush you use either. So yeah, that's how you do that, and you're just building up your little piece, your prosthetic piece. So me, I'm I'm a very, very impatient person, and I wanted to make the little cuts because later on you're going to put something into the little cuts and grooves. So I use scissors. Do not use scissors, okay? Don't use scissors. Use your fingers and make a couple little cuts in there. Um, you don't want to poke it all the way through the bottom prosthetic piece. You just want to poke it on top. You pretty much where the cotton was at, and you're just going to lift it and make a little hole for that. Now this, what I'm using is called Flesh Scab. Flesh Scab, I've talked about it in all my videos, so yeah, it smells awesome. It looks gooey, looks like real blood. In this thing, it looks kind of brown, but it's not, and it's just freaking awesome. So instead of it having like a round piece around the prosthetic piece, where the seam's at, I'm just making little cuts. You don't want to make too much of the cuts because you don't want to make it look like it's ripped. You want to make it look like acid was on there. Now, you can use Alka-Seltzers, but I'm not using Alka-Seltzers like the real ones because I ain't paying no $7 to $8 for like no 4 tablets. That's crazy. Negative. But I did go to, I think it was HEB, and they had the generic kind, the generic version, the HEB version, and it's like 24 for like $3. So that's what I got. That's what's up. You're gonna break it into like thick chunks and put it everywhere that you made the little cut. Then you're going to grab 2 other Alka-Seltzers and you're going to just crush it up all the way. Do you see the Alka-Seltzers like in the cuts, in all the little cuts? Well, if you take, say that you're doing this for Halloween, if you take a little water bottle, a little spritz bottle, and spray yourself every so often when you are going to take a picture, you'll see the little bubbles just coming out and it looks awesome. But because I want y'all to kind of see the bubbles now, I went and crushed the Alka-Seltzer and I put blood on it. So that's the liquid that's going with it. And it bubbled up awesome. It looks freaking awesome. Y'all can't see the bubbles or not like that, and I wish y'all could, but y'all gotta just take my word for it that it just really, really bubbles up. And it looks awesome. So right now what I'm doing is I'm messing up her makeup to make it look like she's been crying, because this whole thing was to almost like if a girl was a hater on her and she went and just grabbed a cup of acid and just boom, threw it on her face. Well, if somebody threw acid on your face, you're gonna be crying. So yeah, pretty much that's it. And now I'm showing you how to remove it. How you remove it is you're just gonna take off the bobby pins and slowly pull it down. She's making faces because she thought it was gonna hurt. We asked her, it doesn't hurt. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too long, and I hope that this was so easy for y'all to do. Did it hurt? No. And talk to y'all later. Bye.